You guys ready for a juicy Forza ban discussion? If yes, take a seat, buckle up, and get ready for a lot of information. I wanted to make this follow-up to my errant ban until 2050 video in late December, but I was hoping that with update 31 right around the corner, we'd get some details and communication about the bans. But that did not happen. I think it's super important that moving forward there is more transparency and understanding, and just simple communication about bans, the auto ban system, and everything in between. The craziest thing was when I made that original video about getting bans, I didn't realize it happened to so many other people. I literally thought it was just me. But it obviously led to a lot of discussion and conversation throughout the entire Forza community, including a team that works really closely with Forza, who ended up conversating with some Turn 10 enforcement employees, and part of this conversation included accusation that was indirectly thrown at me. I'm making this video because I realized that since I got an errant ban, I know for a fact it happened to other players, aka getting a ban that was not deserved. But I'm also making this video to help everyone understand how things work. Problem is, we only have so much information to work with, and that also needs to change moving forward. We're going to discuss how your account gets tracked for credits, the auto ban system itself, the wave of bans that happened on December 15th, 2020, aka when I got banned alongside a lot of you, but also the in-game messages you receive when you get banned, and also getting your ban lifted, including my particular situation and what was falsely said about me. Like I said, buckle up, and please don't comment anything until you've watched and heard everything we're about to talk about in this video. Also, please keep it clean and respectful in the comment section. That's the only way we're going to see positive change, which I really truly believe needs to happen before the next Forza game releases. We'll start with your credit account, and to keep it simple, every transaction that happens, buying or selling cars at the auction house, wheel spins, event rewards, etc., all that stuff, everything gets tracked and logged so the game can keep track of where your credit should be. Now, I'm sure many of you are aware there are hackers and modders out in this world, which is why there's an auto ban system in place for credit hacking. There is basically an automated bot that monitors transactions, and there are unknown thresholds that it will look for in hopes to flag any suspicious activity. Apparently, if you somehow end up getting a certain amount of unaccounted for credit transactions, an automatic ban hammer could potentially smack your account. There is again an unknown amount, but once it's reached, this could happen to anyone. An example given was players switching from Xbox to PC and all of a sudden just gaining a ton of credits. Obviously some things like that can be ban worthy as people do credit hack, but then there's the other side, people like myself who have legendary status, aka 50,000 combined likes, downloads, and uses for paints or tunes, that have the ability to sell any car in the game for 20 million credits at the auction house. Since I do auction giveaways of exclusives for minimum buyout all the time, eventually I need to replenish my credits because I buy so many expensive cars. My account balance can fluctuate a lot and in a short amount of time, but legitimately, I'm not the only one that does this, and something somewhere along the way is getting messed up, because if you look at in-game stats, sometimes you'll actually see your earnings go into the negatives. But when I got banned, for whatever reason, the system was led to believe that I earned credits without tagged sources. That leads me into the huge wave of bans that happened on December 15th, 2020, which I'm glad I made the video I did, because otherwise, I would have never known it happened to so many other people. But on the 15th, for an undisclosed reason, the parameters of the auto ban system were changed. This led the system to looking back further in time for unaccounted for credits. And when this happens, I think I read somewhere thousands of players got banned. According to this information, all of these auto bans were reviewed by enforcement team members to confirm that they were accurate and that those people actually deserved the bans. This simply can't be true because I've never cheated in any way, shape, or form, and since I record what I do all the time, I was able to prove it. I also confirmed with a very reputable source that the support team is small, and that it would have been physically impossible to manually review all of those bans within the first hours. There were thousands. I also had only one in-game message that was auto-generated, and no second message from a support member, which leads me into the notifications and explanation of auto bans. When a player gets banned manually, you'll get an auto message, but then another message from an enforcement member stating the reasoning for your ban. For whatever reason, the auto bans from the 15th only came with that first auto-generated message, which provided no reasoning for the bans. All it said was, "You're out of here until 2050. Get him out of here!" This makes it easy for players who have actually cheated to say, "I got banned for no reason," but the issue is there are players like myself who actually didn't cheat, but still got tied up in this. The good news is because of this whole situation, the auto ban system is being tweaked, so in the future you should get a second message explaining the ban, but there needs to be more initial communication. A ban shouldn't schmack your account until it's actually reviewed by an enforcement employee to ensure it is deserved. And this leads me into the final and very important part, overturned or lifted bans. One of the reasons this could have happened to you is you lost your game save or maybe had a sync issue, and the support team gifted your cars and credits back. Don't know how this happens or how these gifts aren't accounted for transactions, but apparently the autoban system could have flagged this. In these particular situations, your ban should have been overturned. But then here is the real juicy stuff. In some cases, YouTubers or influencers that got banned used their influence or status to get their bans overturned. It's not fair, and some in the studios agree, but people who work closely with influencers have enough pull in the studio to get bans like this overturned, even when they are legitimate. Now you know what I was accused of, and how do I know it's me they're referring to? I'm the only YouTuber who was banned on the 15th that shared what happened. Now this section led to an uproar on Reddit and people thinking Playground Games will basically go out of their way to unban YouTubers like me and not care about anyone else. When I was handling this situation, before I even got unbanned, I made sure to bring up the fact that if this did happen to anyone else, which at the time I didn't realize it did, this could turn into a really bad situation as they won't be able to get help as quickly as I did. The other thing, I'm a tiny YouTube channel, I don't even have that much influence, but the point of it is I proved my legitimacy and showed the support members what I do, how I make my money, and some of the possible errors that could be going on in their system. They even admitted that there was a flaw somewhere. Yet these other Forza enforcement individuals, who don't know me at all or anything about my particular situation, and by the way, I know who one of them is, accused me of actually credit hacking or cheating and using my influence to get out of the ban. After being on Forza Monthly and playing this series for as long as I have, anyone who knows me knows that I'm one of the biggest advocates for playing the game legit, and I absolutely never promote or support any kind of cheating. I also was told by a reliable source that they actually have kept influencers banned in the past for breaking rules. So basically what happened here in my eyes is these enforcement team members didn't want to admit that there was a flaw somewhere in the autoban system, and basically used me as a decoy to get people to believe that all the people who got banned deserved it. Yeah, not the case. This comes back to transparency and communication, and I for one understand completely how complicated this all is to monitor and manage bans, especially when you only have a few team members and so many people playing the game. And there are some people that do cheat, there are people that need to be banned, but if mistakes are made, you gotta own up to it. Certainly don't go after the people who love to play your game and still through it all are trying to make it better. It's a crazy system with so much going on and anything like this can happen, but again, we just need better communication. Otherwise, more and more people are going to be unhappy and not want to play. I read so many messages on my last video that I really didn't want to see, and it just sucks to see this has happened to so many people. And this is one of the longest videos I've made in a while, so I really hope you watched here to the end and that you hopefully learned something helpful or useful. It's a lot to take in and it's very complicated and complex, but hopefully this will lead to positive change and more transparency in the future. If you have any questions or constructive criticism, please leave it in the comment section. I'll try to answer any questions you have the most accurately that I can. But as always, thank you so much for watching. We are pushing towards 40,000 subscribers, so if you enjoyed the video, and if you're new, Make it official and subscribe. Thank you so much for all the support. I'm out. Peace.